Hello, Will, in Clear Spring, Maryland. Matthew here with FreePrescriptionLenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut non-prescription Transition 7 gray lenses for your own RayBan 5121 size 50. Of course, I'll be demonstrating on the color 2000. I'm going to grab a brand new one here to use as a template to cut your lenses. These are the ophthalmic Wayfarer from RayBan. Of course, this is a brand new one. It comes with a little sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. Let me just take that off for now. One of the lenses says RayBan on the corner. I'm going to pop that off. And I'm going to put this frame into the tracing element of my edger and hit the trace button and program a little bit there. Wake the computer up and hit trace. Now the clamps are going to close and this little stylus is going to pop up and it's going to trace the shape of the right lens before moving over and tracing the shape of the left. Here at FreePrescriptionLenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription, or in your case, non-prescription fashion lenses. Of course, you didn't buy the frame from me, so I'm charging you for the transition lenses only. So, that is the shape of your frame, just magnified. Well, I should say the shape of your final lens. And let's go ahead and take your lens out of the protective sleeves. Let's go ahead and do that. Pop one out. It comes with a little plastic laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens from anything rubbing against it during shipping. Let's place that one on the platform. Let's take the other lens out. Get that ready. Take off the little sleeve. Now this is a block. This is what I need to attach to your lens while it is cutting. I like to call it Jenny from the block. I need to apply a double-sided adhesive sticker to that so that it will be stuck to your lens. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to place that onto one of them. Place this onto the second one. Pull the paper away to expose the little 3M logo. Now on the back is a little silver magnet. That's what's going to do its job twice. The first one is just going to hold it in place in this arm. Now if these were prescription lenses, I would put 3 dots on there to orient them to know exactly where they need to place. Because these are non-prescription, as long as I have this larger than that green diagram, it's going to fit into the frame. And I hit this button, the block's going to come down and place the block onto your right lens. Or it could be the left, it really doesn't matter since these are non-prescription. Let's do the same thing for the left side. In fact, if these were prescription, I would put in your pupillary distance there. excuse me. But it does not matter since these are non-prescription lenses. Pull the paper away. Again, the little silver magnet's going to hold it in place. Hit that button, and the arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. Now the actual cutting wheel, where's my stylus? Is over here on the far right. It's going to act like, by the way, this is the edger. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy one. Then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need me anymore. The actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center, that little channel, that valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel on your lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Now let's go ahead and take the right lens. And we're going to place it into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. But I'm going to wake up the computer, pull the shape up of your lens onto the computer, and I'm not going to polish the lens. I'm going to put a very light bevel on the front of the lens and a heavier bevel on the back. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts. And then your lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses to make sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame, and it's going to trace it as it goes around the shape of your lens. And of course it's going to do it twice to measure the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so it fits best inside the frame. Of course these are non-prescription, but if these were thicker lenses, it would do a very good job of knowing exactly where to place the bevel so it'll fit best inside the frame for the best cosmetic look. But you're going to get a great cosmetic look. There's that as your lens starts to take shape. Now if you notice there is water running in the back, that glistening, but polycarbonate lenses cut dry where plastic and high index lenses cut wet. So So your lens is completely flat around the edges. Now it's getting the bevel placed on there, the knife-like edge. A very dull knife, but knife-like edge nonetheless. In fact, your knife-like edge will be so sharp that you might be able to cut through a piece of tissue, providing you soak the tissue in water overnight, and then press down really hard. Now the water is kicked in for the last 20 seconds just to wash away any optical sawdust. This little arm is going to move into place. And at the end of that arm is a little spinning wheel, something you would find on the end of a Dremel tool. That's what's applying what's known as the safety bevel. You still may have had some rough edges left over from the cutting process, so that is smoothing out the front surface, the convex surface of the lens, before moving over and doing a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens, which sits closest to the face. Now your lenses are made from, the brand is Essilor, and will be receiving these original packets to make sure you're getting the highest quality materials. Essilor, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, and Essilor calls polycarbonate airwear because they're light as air. These are the Transition 7 gray lenses. Let's go ahead and take this out. I'm going to dry your lens off, and we're going to see if it's going to fit into the frame first time around. I'm going to grab your frame, I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, and this is how you're going to mount it when you receive it from me. Now, I have the side I'm working on closest to me. I'm not trying to reach across the frame, and this is my technique. You'll develop your own. But I have my elbows touching my sides, my arms are at a right angle. I'm going to tuck in the outside corner first, and then using my thumbs, press down at the nose, and it doesn't want to go in there, so I'm going to take it down about 1/4 millimeter. I'm going to stop when it says 0.25 and hit retouch. I'm going to take 1/4 millimeter off the circumference of the lens until it fits in there easily. I don't want you to have to force the lens in there. That'll cause your frame to stretch. But the other nice thing about your lenses, the initials AS stands for aspheric. Aspheric, well, let me back up a little. Polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into them. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Well, your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that have to be reapplied whenever you're in direct exposure to the sun. Now, the AS is aspheric. Oop, getting a text from somebody now. It is an aspheric lens, which means that front curvature is much flatter than all the rest. A spherical lens is completely round in every direction like a basketball and will give you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance when looking at the frame. These are much flatter to fit today's flat curvature frames. Now when you buy prescription lenses from people online, they charge you for plastic lenses. And if you want the thinner, lighter weight, unbreakable, bulletproof polycarbonate lenses, they charge you an upgrade fee for that. And if you want the aspherical flat curvature lens, they charge you another upgrade fee for that. That is someone else's top tier premium lens that you get for free from me just for buying the frame. How about that for customer service? So again, elbows touching the sides, arms bent at a right angle. Tuck it in at the outside corner first using the thumbs, push down at the nose and it snaps in. So we're done there. Let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens. We're going to put that into the chuck, flip that over to L and hit the green arrow again. The door is going to close, that clamp's going to shut, and then the frame is going to, or the styluses are going to begin tracing the lens to make sure it's large enough to fit into the left side of the frame, which it is. And of course going around twice to measure the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel. Although with your prescription it really doesn't matter because you're going to have no edge thickness whatsoever. Since these are non-prescription lenses, you're going to have a great cosmetic look. I'm going to go ahead and take this block off. Pull that sticker off. Dry your lens off. Now, so again, your lens is still completely flat around the edges like a nickel. If I were to take it out, it would stand up on its own. Now it's getting the V-shaped bevel. applied to the lens in that little V channel so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. All the while cutting dry until now. Now water kicks in for the last 20 seconds just to wash away any optical debris. The little arm is going to come into place to apply the safety bevel to the front surface, the convex surface of the lens. And now it's going to move over and do the same thing to the rear surface, the concave surface of the lens. Let's go ahead and take the lens out, dry everything off, and make sure there's no optical debris around the edge of your lens. Now for the left lens, you just rotate the frame around till you have the empty side closest to you. And again, I tuck it in at the outside corner and press down at the nose. I'm going to go ahead and take this block off. I'm going to show you one other technique. Some people like to email me in the videos and say that's not how I do it, and that's fine. Now to take lenses out, you would turn it over, and it's always with the thumb, it's always at the nose, whether you're inserting it or taking it out. I grab the lens so it doesn't fall. I put my thumb on top of the other lens and push downward. Out comes the lens. Now again, some people like to tuck it in at the nose first and then push down at the corners. To me, that's a little bit harder. The thickest part of the frame is at the bridge, so that's why I tell people to apply down at the nose, because you never can harm the frame when you're pressing at the thickest point of the frame. So these are what your lenses look like clear inside of a shiny black 2000 color RayBan 5121 ophthalmic Wayfarer. I'm going to go ahead and expose your lenses to a strong burst of UV light in my little transitions unit over here. I'm going to tuck that in, hit the button, and as you will see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for the transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now this is important, pay attention, quit eating your Doritos, pay attention to what I'm saying. All transition lenses will turn dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they will not work is if you're behind the windshield in your car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun all day. That's why they don't turn dark in a car. Now if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning when it's 85 and 90 degrees and below, they get darker than they do when it's in the upper 90s and triple digits. When it's that hot outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Everything is miserable when it's over 100 degrees. So this is the first time they've been darkened, and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks. Come on, we talked about that, don't you remember? Now, if anyone has any questions, they can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut non-prescription transition lenses for a RayBan 5121 size 50. I happen to demonstrate in the color 2000, which is the classic shiny black. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.